Good afternoon. This 60th meeting of the 73rd term of the Baltimore City Council is now called to order. As a reminder for members, the press, and members of the public in attendance, we are asking all attendees to take this opportunity to silence any electronic devices you may have, including cell phones. Our invocation this evening will be delivered by Reverend Michael Martin, pastor of Still Meadow Community Fellowship Church. It is our pleasure to welcome you now.
Let us pray. Oh, great Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to be together in this historic room. We thank you for your servants that serve here and around the city, and their sincerity and their love for the city of Baltimore. We ask a blessing. We ask that you bless the city council members emotionally and physically and otherwise. And we also ask that you bless their families and that you keep them in good health and keep them strong and dedicated to the city of Baltimore. We ask that you bless this session, that everything that is planned to get done gets done. Again, we ask your blessings over all who are present. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Reverend Martin. Everyone, please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I would like to acknowledge some special guests that are joining us today from the Council President's Office. We are joined by 14 youth workers assigned to the Council President's Office this summer. These young people are spending the next few weeks learning about the various facets of government while providing the Council President's Office with valuable advice on connecting with the youth of this city. Please join me in recognizing this brilliant group of young people and welcoming them to City Hall. Could you all please stand and let's give them a... Thank you, and we hope you leave here with a wonderful experience. Make sure you write all of that stuff in your journals. The clerk will now call the roll for the members.
Vice President Middleton, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Glover, Ramos. Madam Vice President, we have a quorum.
We will now proceed with the adoption of the journals.
Madam Vice President, the journal for the June 26, 2023, 5 p.m. meeting proceedings are on the council members' desks.
Without objection, the journal will be adopted. Hearing none, the journal is adopted. Bill signing by the mayor can be found beginning on pages 2 of the agenda. We now turn to executive nominations to be withdrawn. The clerk will read the nomination.
EA 23-0204, David A. Rosario, member, Baltimore Hispanic Commission.
The nomination has been withdrawn. The agenda lists an executive nomination for Shannon Dawkins, Esquire, to the Board of Municipal and Zoning Appeals, but the administration has informed the Council President's Office that this nomination is withdrawn. Madam Clerk, please proceed to the next executive nomination.
EA 23-0208, Richard J. Worley, Jr., Commissioner, Baltimore Police Department.
This nomination has been signed to Rules and Oversight. We'll now turn to bills being introduced. The clerk will read the first bill.
City Council Bill 23-0410, rezoning 6311 Eastern Avenue for the purpose of changing the zoning for the property known as 6311 Eastern Avenue, Block 6699, Lot 002A, as outlined in red on the accompanying plat, from the I-2 zoning district to the C-2 zoning district. Sponsor Cohen.
Thank you. This bill has been assigned to the Economic and Community Development Committee.
City Council Bill 23-0411, rezoning 205 through 209 East Coast Spring Lane for the purpose of changing the zoning for the property known as 205 through 209 East Coast Spring Lane, Block 50531, lots 001, 002, and 003, as outlined in red on the accompanying plat, from the R1C zoning district to the EC2 zoning district. Sponsored Conway.
And this bill has been assigned to the Economic and Community Development Committee.
City Council Bill 23-0412, city property, renaming playground at Hanlon Park after Ruby K. Couch for the purpose of changing the name of the playground, Hanlon Park, located at 2731 North Longwood Street, to the Ruby K. Couch Playground. Sponsor Torrance.
Councilman Torrance.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I rise to say that the 7th District is honoring a woman and steward of the Hanlon community. Ms. Couch lived in Hanlon Longwood Park for over 66 years. She was a member of the NAACP, the League of Women Voters. She was a matriarch of the actual community, but also she was a near and dear friend to Councilwoman Victorine Q. Adams, a member of this body. She is a woman who led with a legacy of love and intent on improving her community. And with this honor, we would love to make sure our young people know her legacy beyond just her death. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Torrance. So this bill has been assigned to the Economic and Community Development Committee.
City Council Resolution 23-0180R, informational hearing, Summer 2023 Baltimore City Pool closures, for the purpose of inviting representatives from the Department of Recreation and Parks, Department of General Services, the Mayor's Office of Infrastructure Development, the Office of the City Administrator, and any other relevant parties to report why Cherry Hill Splash Park, Lake Clifton Pool, and Patterson Park Pool have not yet opened for the 2023 season, discuss the impact of these closures on city residents and the ability of the city to secure funding for future infrastructure improvements, and to discuss solutions to prevent future closures. Sponsor Cohen.
Councilman Cohen.
President, heading into the summer, we heard a lot about the need to keep our kids safe, knowing that traditionally in the summer, Baltimore sees an uptick in violence. We know that one of the best activities for our young people is to swim in our public pools. These pools are supported by us, the residents of Baltimore, and so it was disappointing to learn this year that 3 of our pools would not be opening for the summer, despite, I will say, at least in our district, a really big push to try and get the Patterson Park pool open. I think it's critically important that we do the necessary oversight to make sure this type of deferred maintenance, these type of issues that happen in our pools, that we're on top of it, that we're working with Rec and Park, and that we're really holding the agency accountable to deliver for our kids and our families. I think we have a great recreation and park department in this city, but when we see 3 pools closed heading into a summer where we saw almost record level violence, we know we need to do better, and that's why I asked for this hearing. Thank you, and I appreciate, Madam Vice President, your suggestions around additional agencies to be included as well.
Thank you. I think we all have a number of splash pools that have been sitting, and the maintenance has just been kind of stalled. So looking forward to this hearing. This resolution has been assigned to the Public Safety and Government Operations Committee.
City Council Resolution 23-0181R, informational hearing, special event permitting processes. For the purpose of inviting representatives from the Department of Transportation, Department of Recreation and Parks, Department of Public Works, Baltimore Police Department, Fire Department, Department of Human Resources, City Administrator's Office, and any other relevant parties to come before the City Council to detail the causes of widespread challenges with the city's special events permitting processes, including application backlogs, staff shortages, and system irregularities, outline solutions to ensure that these backlogs, staff shortages, and irregularities do not continue to impact beloved city events and public safety, and outline reasons for permit denials and detail the city's strategy for responding to unpermitted events. Sponsors Cohen and Porter.
Councilman Cohen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We know that Baltimore City is a place where we have many great events, many of them sponsored by community organizations, some that have a big budget and others that simply do not. Yet we've found, and Councilmember Porter and I particularly have found, that some of the event permits can be so costly and so cumbersome that groups are choosing not to go through the permit process. I think it's critically important that we make it as easy as possible for a community organization or a nonprofit to throw an event. They bring people together, they bring joy, but too often we hear that folks simply do not want to go through the hassle of dealing with our permit process. With that, Madam Vice President, if possible, would like to defer to my colleague from the 10th District.
Councilwoman Porter?
Thank you so much. Just to follow up on what Councilman Cohen was describing, this is an opportunity for us to really relook at our procedures within government to make sure that they're not only efficient, but they're not a burden to the residents of our city. I've heard time and time again how many people want to apply for the permit process. They go through the permit process and oftentimes not getting their permit until days before their event. That is a major issue in our city leading up to the summer months, and I know that this is a priority given the tragic event that's happened in Brooklyn, but my office has taken the lead on really identifying those unpermitted events in District 10 and seeing how we can make the process less efficient. This is an opportunity for us to really work together and also work with the administration to not only refine our procedures, but also take away the unnecessary cost and also time associated with planning these events for our city. Thank you.
I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. Any other co-sponsors? Dorsey, Burnett, Conway, Ramos, Torrance, and Glover. Thank you. Okay, this resolution has been assigned to the Ways and Means Committee.
City Council Resolution 23-0182R, informational hearing, Regional Water Governance Task Force. For the purpose of inviting representatives from the Office of the City Administrator, the Director of the Department of Public Works, the Mayor's Office of Government Relations, the Office of Equity and Civil Rights, and any other relevant agencies to report on the topics outlined in this resolution and provide additional information as needed by the committee. Sponsor Ramos.
Councilwoman Ramos.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Baltimore Regional Water Governance Task Force was created by Senate Bill 880 and House Bill 843 in the General Assembly this past year. The purpose is to review the relationship between Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and other nearby counties relative to the water and wastewater services, billing, and operations. The task force is charged with evaluating recommendations outlined in the Water Sewer Services Comprehensive Business Process Review Study that was published in 2021 to see how any of these recommendations might apply to the Baltimore area to improve maintenance, billing, capital improvements, rate stability, service delivery, and more for the 1.8 million residents who receive Baltimore City water. I welcome the exploration of such governance structures, particularly since Baltimore County residents use our water but pay a significant amount less in their bills. While Baltimore County makes up the balance itself, We are unsure how that has happened or if it's happened in several years. Moreover, there are significant capital improvements needed to keep up our water and wastewater systems. However, we need more transparency around the Regional Water Task Force. And so this resolution is a hearing, calls for a hearing to request a lot of information that the council needs to help move this forward, but also keep accountability and transparency. So information includes water and sewer service comprehensive business process review, what those recommendations are, who the appointees to the task force will be from Baltimore City, the process for making recommendations, the public input process, equity assessment, impact on workers, and making sure that the recommendations also preserve the control of the water system to Baltimore City, as well as the timeline. So I'm very much looking forward to the hearing, and thank you, Madam Vice President.
Thank you, and I'd like the matter of record to be added to this bill. Any other, Councilman Burnett, Councilwoman Porter, Councilman Cohen? Thank you. And this resolution has been assigned to the Public Safety and Government Operations Committee.
City Council Resolution 23-0183R, request for state action, reject Baltimore Gas and Electric Company's proposed multi-year rate plan for the purpose of calling on the Maryland Public Service Commission to reject the multi-year rate plan proposed by the Baltimore Gas and Electric Company. Sponsor Cohen.
Councilman Cohen?
Thank you, Madam Vice President. This resolution calls on the Public Service Commission to reject BGE's proposed multi-year rate hike. According to the Maryland Office of the People's Counsel, an independent state agency, this plan would raise BGE's gas distribution rates by 61% over the next 3 years. I will note that BGE contests that number. My staff has distributed a copy of the resolution with our sources cited. The bottom line is that Baltimore residents should not subsidize BGE's massive gas line replacement project. But first, why call on the PSC rather than legislate this issue locally? BGE has a monopoly on delivering gas and electric service to our region. In Maryland, public utilities are regulated by the Public Service Commission, and addressing equity and climate change are part of their mission. Baltimore City absolutely should have a voice in the PSC's deliberations in August and September when the PSC hears BGE's rate case. Thankfully, the PSC reached out to us proactively when they heard about this resolution and requested a copy. Due to the great leadership of our governor and its members, the PSC will not ignore Baltimore. We are the core of BGE's service area, and our voice matters. I'm introducing this resolution for 3 reasons. I believe this plan is costly and irresponsible at a time when our neighbors are already having trouble paying their utility bills. BGE is proposing to replace all natural gas infrastructure that existed in 2013. While Baltimore does have some of the oldest natural gas pipes in the country, BGE could repair parts of the system rather than replace them all. Nearly 30% of city residents already have energy bills that are more than 6% of their income, which is considered the level of high burden. The people that will profit the most from this plan are BGE's shareholders. Number 2, BGE has not been a good enough partner to city residents. BGE's plan to upgrade everyone to medium gas pressure service feels like an expensive solution in need of a problem. Our constituents cite disruptions to streets and sidewalks that are not repaired in a timely fashion, sloppy workmanship, and damage to homes by BGE and its contractors. And recently, BGE has attempted to steamroll constituents into accepting external gas regulators, including through illegal gas shutoffs. And thank you to Councilman Stokes for holding a hearing, and to Chair McCray for holding that hearing in her committee. Finally, I believe that this plan is harmful from an environmental perspective. I'm proud that our city has set aggressive goals for 30% reduction in carbon emissions by 2025, 60% reduction in carbon emissions by 2030, and full carbon neutrality by 2045. We need to move away from our overdependence on fossil fuels. While I am not suggesting we completely eliminate gas, I believe that this is the wrong investment at the wrong time. All you need to do is look out the window and see the impact of the climate crisis clear as Canadian smog. For all those reasons, I call on the PSC to fulfill its mandate to regulate with a mind toward economic and climate justice. I look forward to engaging directly with the PSC and move this resolution for immediate adoption.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended.
Move the resolution for immediate adoption.
Thank you. The clerk will call the roll call.
Vice President Middleton,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Glover, Ramos.
The motion is approved. This resolution has been adopted. We have one city council bill that is being reassigned, City Council Bill Number 23-0400, Port Covington Community Benefits District Amendment Boundaries. This bill is reassigned from the Economic Community Development Committee to the Ways and Means Committee. You can find the consent calendar in Section A at the back of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar? All those in favor of approving the consent calendar, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. The motion carries, and the consent calendar is approved. We will now move to bills on second reader. Before we do, I would like to recognize Chairman Costello.
Thank you, Madam President. I move we read short titles for second and third reader for the duration of the meeting.
Without objection, we will read short titles for the remainder of the meeting. Hearing none, we will read short titles. The Economic and Community Development Committee I recognize,
City
I'm
Council
sorry.
Bill 22-0250, the Councilmember Mary Pat Clark Opportunity to Purchase Act.
I recognize my vice chair of the committee, Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Madam President. This bill number 220250, the bill was heard on July 11, 2023. There are committee amendments on my colleagues' desks, and I move the amendments.
Is there a second? All those in favor of adopting the amendment, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. The amendments are adopted.
I move the bill favorable as amended.
There is a second by Ramos. All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. This bill will be printed for third reader. Recognizing Councilmember Bullock. Oh, she's got to read the next bill. I'm moving.
City Council Bill 22-0254, Office of Aging, Independent Agency.
Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Madam President. Bill 220254 was heard on June 27th of this year. There are committee amendments and floor amendments to the committee amendments on my colleagues' desks. I move the amendments to the committee amendments. And just for clarity, again, we had some amendments, and again, we're amending some of those amendments, and they're all in front of you at this point. So again, I move the amendments.
Is there a second? Second by Torrance. All those in favor of adopting the clarifying amendments, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. The clarifying amendments to the committee amendments are adopted. Councilman Bullock.
And thank you, Madam President. I move the bill favorably as amended.
There was a second by,
Excuse me.
whoop, hold
I
on.
move the committee amendments as amended,
Okay.
and then we'll move on.
All in favor? Aye. All those opposed? The committee amendments are adopted.
And
Councilman
thank you,
Bullock.
Madam President. I move the bill favorably as amended.
All those in favor of adopting the amendment, say aye. The bill as amended, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. The committee has adopted the bill as amended.
Yep. Are you, point of order?
Are we doing the finding of facts
We-
next?
That's in separate.
I-
Okay, we're fine.
Councilman Conway, do you have okay. Councilman
Next bill.
Bullock?
Okay.
City Council Bill 23-0365, rezoning 601 through 621 East Biddle Street, 1101 through 1129 Forest Street, 602 East Chase Street, and 1110 Nursery Place.
Recognize Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Madam President. This bill was also heard on June 27th, for the record 230365. The findings of fact are on my colleagues' desks, and I move the findings of facts.
Where? Something is missing. All those in favor of adopting the finding, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. The finding of facts are adopted. Councilman Bullock?
Thank you, Madam President. I move the bill favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. This bill will be printed for third reader.
City Council Bill 23-0153R, investigative hearing, vacant building water shutoffs.
Councilman Bullock?
Thank you, Madam President. This bill was heard again on July 11th, 2023, and I move the resolution as favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of adopting the finding, say aye. Those opposed, say nay. The finding of facts are adopted.
President. Resolution.
The bill is adopted. Thank you, Councilman Bullock. Where are we now? Okay, rules and legislative oversight.
EA 23-0195, Lady Bryan, Member, Public Arts Commission, District 2.
I recognize Councilman Schleifer, and just a note to the council, your ayes are not being heard, so you have to say those louder. Councilman Schleifer.
Thank you very much. The Rules and Legislative Oversight Committee held a hearing on June 29, 2023 to consider 11 executive appointments, and we'll be reporting all of them favorable, so I'd like to move this nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of confirming, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Those opposed, say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted.
EA 23-0196, Barbara Kornman, Member, Adult Public Guardianship Review Board, District 14.
I recognize Councilman Schleifer again.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of confirmation, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted.
EA 23-0197, Robin Russell Allen, Member, Planning Commission, District 14.
Recognizing Councilman Schleifer.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of the confirmation, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted.
EA 23-0198, Corinne Johnson, Director, Baltimore City Department of Transportation, District 8.
Recognize Chairman Schleifer.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of confirmation, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. One nay, and that's from Councilman Dorsey of the 3rd District. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted.
EA 23-0199, Claudia Freeland Jolin, Member, Planning Commission, District 14.
Recognizing Chairman Schleifer.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of this confirmation, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted.
EA E23-0200, Max Grossfeld, Member, Baltimore City Wage Commission, District 12.
Recognize Chairman Cipher.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of this confirmation say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted.
EA 23-0201, Cole Starcher, Member, Baltimore City Wage Commission, District 14.
Chairman Cipher.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of confirmation say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted. Councilwoman Ramos.
There's a typo in the nominee's name. It should be Chloe. Just for the record. Thank you.
Okay, that is well noted. Thank you.
EA 23-0202, R. Anthony Mills, Office Administrator, Office of Water Customer Advocacy and Appeals, District 6.
Recognizing Chairman Cipher.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of confirmation say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted.
EA 23-0203, Fabiola Donato Galindo, Member, Baltimore Hispanic Commission, District 4.
Chairman Cipher.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of confirmation say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted.
EA 23-0205, Elizabeth A. Hafey, Member, Board of Municipal and Zoning Appeals, District 1.
Recognizing Chairman Cipher.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of confirmation say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted.
EA 23-0206, Michelle A. Goins, Member, Adult Public Guardianship Review Board.
Recognizing Chairman Cipher.
I move the nomination favorable.
There is a second. All those in favor of confirmation say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The recommendation for confirmation is accepted. We had a large number of confirmations today. Could you all stand that are here today that have been confirmed? Just everyone that has just been confirmed is present, and we have one that's present. Thank you.
Before we move to vote. Executive nomination.
Okay. Before we move on, I want to go back to executive nominations to reread. The clerk is going to reread the Baltimore Police Department Commissioner Richard Worley.
EA 23-0207, previously read as 08, but it is 07. Richard J. Worley Jr., Commissioner, Baltimore Police Department.
And that confirmation is assigned to the Rules and Oversight Committee. We will now turn to bills on third reader for final passage. The clerk will read the bills and call the roll.
City Council Bill 22-0287, Real Estate Practices, Disclosures, Historic Districts. Vice President Middleton, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 22-0296, rezoning 810 Leadenhall Street. Vice President Middleton, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Conway, Schleifer, Middleton, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 22-0323, zoning, conditional use, parking lot 3618 and 3620 Elm Avenue. Vice President Middleton, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey.
There's one abstention, Councilman Dorsey of the 3rd District.
Conway, Schleifer, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 23-0346, RPP Area 48 Riverside revisions. Vice President Middleton, Conway, McCray, Dorsey, Schleifer, Cohen, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 23-0370, zoning, use regulation, residential care facilities, age restricted. Vice President Middleton, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey.
There was a no vote from Councilman Dorsey of the 3rd District.
Conway, Schleifer, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 23-0371, zoning, conditional use, residential care facility, age restricted, 201 Homeland Avenue, and a portion of Block 5027, Lot 003. Vice President Middleton, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey.
One extension, Councilman Dorsey of the 3rd District.
Conway, Schleifer, Torrance, Burnett, Bullock, Porter, Costello, Glover, Ramos.
This bill is approved. Chairs, when you hear your committee, please proceed with your committee announcements. And are there any announcements? Were there any announcements for economic and community development? Okay. Education, workforce, and youth? None. Health, environment? There was one for education, workforce, and youth. You're on.
Falling asleep on the job.
And
Apologies.
Chair recognizes Councilman Cohen.
Thank you. The Education and Workforce and Youth Committee will hold a hearing on Thursday, August 10th, 2023 at 10 a.m. in council chambers. That hearing is middle school sports program.
Thank you.
The Education and Workforce and Youth Committee will also hold a hearing Thursday, August 10th at 10:01 a.m. on parity in women's sports.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Health, environment, and technology, no announcements. Public safety and government operations. Chair recognizes Chair Conway.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Public Safety and Government Operations Committee will hear Bill 23-0385, Study and Report, Baltimore City Climate Resilience Authority on Wednesday, July 19th at 2023 at 1 p.m. here. The committee will hear LO 22-0030, Legislative Oversight, Crime Reduction and Prevention on Wednesday, August 30th, 2023 at 1 p.m. here. The committee will also hear LO 21-0015, Baltimore City Fire Department, EMS Stat and Operations on September 20th, 2023 at 1 p.m. and on December 20th, 2023 at 1 p.m. And finally, the Public Safety and Government Operations Committee will hear LO 23-0039, Oversight, Brooklyn Mass Shooting. This is a follow-up to our hearing last Thursday, as promised, at 1 p.m. on Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. Thank you, Madam Vice President.
Rules and legislative oversight. Chair recognizes Chairman Schleifer.
Thank you. The Rules and Legislative Oversight Committee will hold a hearing this Thursday on CC 23-0354 at 5 p.m., July 20th, on the Ordinance of Administrative Procedure Act. Followed by that, we will have a hearing on Bill Number CC 23-0347, July 20th, 2023 at 5:03 p.m. For the ordinance of Department of Business Licensing and Consumer Protection. On August 15th, 2023, we'll hold a hearing on EA 23-0207 at 5 p.m. for Richard J. Worley, Police Commissioner of Baltimore City. Thank you.
Thank you. And the Ways and Means Committee.
Thank you, Madam President. Ways and Means Committee will hold a hearing on Tuesday, August 1st at 10:30 a.m. in Chambers, Council Bill 23-0374, Sale of Property, 707 East 34th Street. Ways and Means Committee will also hold a hearing on Tuesday, August 1st at 10:31 a.m. in Chambers on Council Bill 23-0400, Port Covington Community Benefits District Amendment Boundaries. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. We move now to regular announcements. Members, please wait to be recognized to make regular announcements. And I first would just like to add Dolores Thomas to the Moment of Silence list. Dolores Thomas was the mother of my Chief of Staff, Tywanda Miller, who suddenly passed away this week. So I'd like to add her list to the Moment of Silence. Any other regular announcements? Chair recognizes Councilman Costello.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to move to suspend the appropriate rules to permit my special guest to have floor privileges.
Yes.
Vote.
Floor privileges. Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And, all opposed? Floor privileges are granted.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to bring Captain Scott Brillman, his little guy Mike, up.
Oh, cutie.
I've got a City Council resolution. The City Council of Baltimore, be it hereby known to all that the City Council of Baltimore offers its sincerest congratulations to Captain Scott L. Brillman in recognition of 20 years of exemplary and unwavering service to Baltimore City and BCFD, including 15 years at OEM and 911. Scott's also been joined by his wife, Regina. The entire membership extends best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution to be presented on this 17th day of July 2023, signed by Council President Nick Mosby and all members. I want to take a moment of privilege here. I've known Captain Brillman, or Scott, he's a friend, for nearly 9 years now. Scott has been on our side on virtually every emergency that we've dealt with in the past, at least for me, in the past 9 years, whether that was the civil unrest in 2015, E. coli, sinkholes, hurricanes, you name it. This man has been through it, and he has helped lead Baltimore City with a very steady and calm hand during crisis. And I think we all, not just in City Council, not just in these chambers, but across the city of Baltimore, owe Scott Brillman a huge debt of gratitude. So with that, I'd like to present this presentation, Madam President.
Yes.
Push it back. I feel so low today.
Smile.
You got me back.
Oh, wait, Kyle, wait.
Yeah, have him go. One more. Have him. Yeah.
Yes, please, say a few words.
First, thank you.
You're
Am I
good.
on? Thank you for all the years. It's been a great adventure. And thank you all for the support over the years. I don't know if you know how important this chamber is to the people of Baltimore. Government's not perfect, but without you, hearing the voices of the people that really need help, not a lot would get done. So keep up the great work. The past few years, you guys have been awesome. So keep it going. You're great for Baltimore. But thank you. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, and congratulations again. I now recognize Councilwoman Porter. Are there any other announcements? Hold up. 3rd District Councilman Dorsey.
Thank you. I wouldn't be doing my job as a husband if I didn't encourage you all to go see my wife's work at the Baltimore Museum of Art in their new acquisitions show of Baltimore and Baltimore close kind of people. It just went up recently in Gallery 1 of the Contemporary Wing. It is right next to the work of one of our other neighbors, Jackie Milad, who lives 2 blocks from me. And the next room over, you can see works from Makita Ahuja, who was until recently an Arcadia resident, also in my district. So just go and see. There is the BMA is doing a rotating exhibition of work of new acquisitions from Baltimore residents and people who are closely tied to Baltimore, and it is awesome. A lot of black artists, obviously representing the city well in that set of recent acquisitions. So just really worth spending the time to go in there. It's free. You can go. It's not a special ticketed paid exhibition or whatever. Everybody should go and visit the Contemporary Wing. It's amazing that we have this asset there, and you can see my wife's work.
Thank you. Baltimore City is a city of lots of art and culture right within. So thank you for sharing that. I recognize Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Madam President and colleagues. I just want to put something on your calendar. So some of you may be familiar with the organization Project Numa. Most of you are also familiar with the fact that I'm a runner, as are my sons. But also Project Numa is having a 5K race on Saturday, August 12th, and it'll be in the 9th District. I'm encouraging all of our members of the City Council, anybody who's very interested in coming out to support this event. Some of you, if you're not familiar with Project Numa, part of the idea is also for social and emotional and physical health for our young men, but also creating and establishing relationships with law enforcement and police in our city. So we think it's a great way to not only showcase what these young men are doing, showcasing 2 21st century schools in our district, including Katherine Johnson Global Academy and also Billie Holiday Elementary. It's a 3-mile race. It's a 1-mile loop. We'll do 3 times. So again, you're welcome to come out and have some fun with us on Saturday, August 12th. Thank you.
Thank you for that announcement. Any more announcements? Councilman Torrance.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I would be remiss. My office is hosting our annual book bag giveaway called Summers in the 7th at Mondawmin once again. Last year, we proudly gave out over 900 book bags. We're looking to exceed that to get to 1,200 this year. We are hosting it on August 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at Mondawmin Mall. Thank you.
Thank you. This is the season for those type of giveaways, preparing our students for school. Councilman Glover.
This Friday, we'll be hosting my jazz nights out in the community. We do them every 3rd Friday of the month. And just want to encourage you guys to come out and check us out over at Eagle Park. We'll have some food, we'll have some dancing, and we'll have some good music. So come on out, support if you can. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Chair now
Right.
recognizes Councilwoman Porter.
Thank you. The next meeting of the Baltimore City Council will be held on Monday, August 21st, 2023, at 5 p.m. At this time, we recognize a moment of silence for the 153 victims of homicide this year.
And Dolores Thomas.
Yes. And Dolores Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. There being no further business. Oh, is that you or me?
That's me. Thank you. There being no further business, this concludes the 60th meeting of the 73rd term of Baltimore City Council.
That's good.
All right, thank you.